Let's see. Okay, I called you. Let's see if you jump into the call. I'll post his portfolio as well. There you go. Oh man, house kid, dude, that was good though, man. You're super noob to Discord. Okay, let's see here. How do we do this? All right, we're going here. All right, so I'm in a call. You can see I'm talking here. Top left, or maybe up here. You click that, you'll see direct messages. You click this one, and you'll see direct messages, and then you've got your goods here, and I should be in here talking to you. I hope that helps. I hope that helps. Oh
Hey
my
man,
gosh.
can you hear me? I
Yo,
think it
dude, you
works.
found it. You found the button.
Yeah. Awesome.
Dude, perfect. Okay, let me make sure. Volumes are all good. All right. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Yeah, sure. My name is Florian. I'm quite new to the stream, so since around August, I think. My nickname is Kirk Ryan, by the way. So maybe you have seen my nickname
Yes.
in the chat. I'm quite new, and the stream is super awesome. So I appreciate it a lot and keep up the good work.
Well,
I
thanks,
wish I
dude.
would have found that earlier.
Dude, I wish this existed when I was learning.
Since when are you doing that, by
Oh
the way?
man, when I started learning 3D, they didn't even have YouTube didn't even have any tutorials. Like when I got out of high school to go to college, YouTube was like a year old.
Wow.
It's super weird, man. Um, but yeah,
Yeah.
like it was
So a
long
little
enough
bit
ago that
about
it's
my
DVDs. But yeah, go ahead.
wow. A little bit about my background. I see myself as a photogrammetry artist, but I always have my focus also on the traditional modeling and texturing and trying to combine it a bit with the photogrammetry. So I'm interested in environments and props, but also characters somehow.
Hmm.
And yeah, always trying to improve. And I just recently finished my study last month and now looking for a suitable job. And
Oh
my
right, okay.
portfolio currently is a little set up a little bit weird. So you just have these two folders. And the
Hmm.
reason is because I was in some processes for photogrammetry positions and I want to have it completely separated so they are not confused, know where to click, and then I have
Yeah, yeah. So you were
carried out
authoring your
way.
portfolio based on the jobs you were applying for.
Yeah, yeah.
See, dude, this is a thing I want for like ArtStation Pro or whatever, is to be able to create up to 5 templates of ArtStation accounts inside of your account where you can author and change what you
Oh,
want
yeah.
your portfolio to look like for like this is for a scanning position, and then you're like, okay, this one's for like a material artist position. It's like you
Yeah,
can see
that
it
would be
all, but
awesome.
then this is what I want you to look at. So that it would have both buttons, but it's like this is what I want to present to you, and if you want to see more, you can click the yeah. But
Yeah, so
let's see here.
actually, you can just click what you're interested in. We're not so. Actually, today I got
Mm.
a preview contract to sign with a big VFX company. So
Oh, nice.
I already know kind of what I want to do. So
Yeah,
we're do not have stress. We can just check out whatever.
yeah, yeah. No, it's cool. I'll So you've got like a reel of basically your photogrammetry work.
Yeah, so, some job application wanted a reel, so
Mm.
I made a video.
Yeah, and it looks like so you're using reality capture. Is that the primary software that you're using for
Yeah,
your
yeah.
scan
I
processing?
started with the edges of Photoscan in around 2015, but quickly switched to that one because it's much better.
Mm.
Usually, I always check out when there's new bigger updates, but so far, reality capture is by
Yeah, you
far
just
the
double
best
check.
for me.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
you're always checking out new tools and whatnot.
yeah, it's important, I think.
Man, this is cool. So okay, so you're running around taking pictures of everything, ignoring the people looking at you, going, "What is this guy doing?" Um,
Yeah.
and then processing it and just going down the road of photogrammetry.
Yeah, and this is some parts of my master thesis with scan automations. I built some automatic turntable system, and later I extended that one and for character scanning. So I had a vertical tracking device, which you can see right now. There is these cameras, and now they go down. So it gets a bit more technical in these kind of things.
Yeah, dude,
It's
this is
done
super
with
cool. Oh
the
yeah, yeah,
Python programming.
dude, that's pretty
Yeah.
intense. Wait, so are you like setting up all these rigs and stuff as well, or you're doing a lot of experimenting with like how to capture better?
Yeah, exactly. I tried to build a cheap alternative to big multi-camera rigs.
Yeah,
That was the topic for my master thesis. So I designed these kind of things and built it and tested it. And it
man,
works
that's
quite
really
well.
cool.
My lighting situation is very limited. The space in my room is very limited. But besides that, I'm quite fine with these kind of results. Yeah.
And for your scan cleanup, like what are you usually kind of removing? Is just like really
Yeah, you
clear
can see
artifacts?
here, you can see in the breast area, in the chest
Yeah.
area, there is the most errors happening in 3D scanning for humans with my system because it's the area where the human breathes. And
Oh
since we're
right.
not, we're we're having turntable photogrammetry, we cannot capture at the same moment, and
Right.
that's why the errors happen, right?
So you're literally seeing like the offset or displacement of like lungs actually filling the chest and the chest
Exactly.
changing shape.
For heads, it works quite well. I mean, your ears and everything quite stays in place. With the
Mm.
eyes is always a problem too, if you're blinking a bit or something. But usually you can hold a pose with your head, but with the chest, not so much. Or fingers or things like that is awful.
Yeah, yeah. You're like it's terrible. Yeah, this I mean, when I'm looking at these videos, I love that you're showing like you walking around the space and how you're like mapping out scanning for the ground.
Yeah, this was a trip I recently did. I did try a new technique. It was about capturing the reflections also. So that means I capture it in two um, different styles. The one was cross polarized for the albedo map, and in the other pass, I did it scan it again with parallel polarization, and then you can map these together in one scan basically
Mm-hmm.
and can subtract these both textures from each others and you receive something like a specular map. Is was the first
Oh
time I
wow. Yeah, yeah.
tested this workflow.
Oh, that's super interesting. Yeah, I mean the results are looking pretty nice, and the details that you're getting out of this are really cool. So it sounds like you're about to either get a job soon or like it's coming.
It looks promising.
Yeah.
Still some negotiation things happening, but
Mm-hmm.
I think we're on a good track.
Oh, that's awesome, man. Yeah, this is really intriguing because I think what we're seeing in like the space now is like okay, what you've got scans going on, right? And now anyone can kind of scan with their phone, but you can get to a point where how do you get as close to realistic as possible with your scans and bringing in those details to the point where like you want Quixel grabbing you or like a big company to just be like okay we have to have this person because the techniques that they're using are getting them the results that we're trying to get and it's just not happening or it's somewhat like because you're thinking about the details in a way where you're actually changing the way your rig is set up to try and offset the cost. There's so many things that you're looking at. Like I don't play with photogrammetry at all, but I find it really intriguing, and I think it's I wouldn't necessarily say the future, but it has its own like position, right? It's its own portion of how our industry operates. especially with film, of course. But
Yeah. Yeah, I'm also not so sure about the future. Since I was looking out for jobs, I found it kind of hard to find pure photogrammetry jobs because, especially in games, you see it a lot that they are looking for an environment artist, and then it's more in the pluses section. They say it's good if you know photogrammetry, right? But these pure photogrammetry positions are quite a bit rare, I found.
mm,
So maybe it's coming. I think still a lot of things are outsourced,
hmm
but studios starting eventually to now want their own staff in house.
right. And are you interested in film or just like games?
No, I was in both. I was in different processes, but with the VFX, it seems to work out right now.
Yeah,
But my interest is in game and VFX, you can say.
cool. Yeah, your attention to detail when it comes to like how your scans are processing and how you're being able to capture the. I mean, it looks like you're capturing the roughness variation between all of the surfaces.
Here is hand painted
Yeah.
roughness values still.
Oh, really? Interesting.
Is artistic interpretation by me.
Yeah. How are you capturing those types of I mean, it's turning into me asking you a lot more questions than like feedbacking on your dude, this stuff is really cool.
This is from my the corridor was from my bachelor thesis.
Mm.
I I captured two different interiors with laser scanning and one with photogrammetry, and I made some comparison due to the quality, the time it takes, and measure accuracy and things like that.
You know, it would be really interesting if you were able to find a way to capture the value ranges of porosity. It's like how wet a material gets. Like if there was
Ah,
a way to have like say you have this wall, right? And you do a
but you're
photogrammetry pass of it.
you you mean how potentially wet it could get, or I'm not sure if I
Like
get it.
it's not potentially wet, but like how much the material changes when it's wet. So like the more
Okay.
porous a material is, the more it absorbs water, right? And when a material absorbs water, it tends to increase in saturation, but then also lower in value. But the less it absorbs, the less the colors change. So like if you see a sidewalk using a bunch of different rocks or pebbles inside of the material, when you pour water on it, you'll notice some of the rocks like expose certain colors, and some become darker and some stay light. That's like that the reaction of the surface to like how it reacts to water on a per like material basis. So if you were able to grab a screen or a screenshot, if you were able to do a photogrammetry pass of this wall and then make the entire wall wet and do another
And do
pass,
it again and measure
yeah, and
what's
measure those
happening.
differences,
Yeah.
that would be pretty interesting because I've only seen a few games play with porosity in their materials. Um,
Which games were these?
I think Naughty Dog's the only one that I know of off the top of my head
In
was
Uncharted or
yeah, it was an Uncharted game where they were looking at like, okay, when water streams down this wall, this rock wall, where the
oh,
water's
cool.
streaming down, it's not just about what the water looks like. It's about what the rock that the water is interacting with looks like. Um,
Mm.
yeah, so that I mean that might be something intriguing to look into because I mean I don't have too much feedback on this stuff other than I find it really intriguing and I mean,
This
what
this
questions
stuff
do you
looks
have? Yeah,
impressive and it's much easier than you might think, but at the same time, I don't like it when people completely downvote it. You're just taking picture, right? I
yeah,
don't like
yeah.
that, but it's much easier to get results than people spend years to get these
hmm
results by hand, right? Yeah. I
Oh yeah,
totally get that.
and it still will feel off somehow. Like it's never truly like perfect, but if you can scan it, like I find the idea of scanning like rock surfaces and cliffs and stuff like that to get the masks like the height information for sculpting with because then you can be creative but then you're also implying all of the information from a real surface so you can
Actually, that's a
yeah
thing I just recently realized that I can create tileable materials and set them completely up based on different scan materials. So I place this and that. I
Yeah, you can
just
do a lot of
realized that
mixing.
recently. It's crazy.
Yeah.
I didn't follow about it, but that's things uh, I pretty much want to
Dang.
do maybe.
This tree is old.
It was in the garden of my parents. We don't have
Dude.
it anymore.
Yeah. Yeah, it looks like you guys were in the process of not having it anymore.
Exactly. And I thought, wow, we have to save it for eternity in
Yeah.
3D scan.
Casey in chat says this tree is like him. Uh this I mean, dude, this stuff is really cool. I don't know if we want to look at like your modeling and texturing. Man, your attention to you're really in tune, I think, with albedo. Oh my god, dude, I love that you're doing these
This
videos.
is a reference. Now I'm doing the things.
Man,
I had a little mentorship, and
yeah.
after that, I so much improved with the PBR texturing, and so it's not like he showed me some special secrets. These
Yeah.
things are out there, but a mentorship helps so much to stay committed and actually have some person communicate, and he's asking how is it going, and you feel more purpose
Yeah.
because otherwise you work for yourself and then you ask yourself, why am I doing that, for what? Nobody cares,
Yeah.
right? And then a person is asking,
Yeah.
how is it going? And then you have reason, and then you do the things.
Yeah. Dude, this stuff's cool. It's really interesting that you've split it into two categories, cuz I mean, even like just having it like this, there's so much more here. It's kind of like the last portfolio. There's so much more that you can show. Uh like it's almost like each asset should have its own little
Yeah,
thing.
in some way you're right, but on the other hand, I thought like hiring people, they want to scroll through, they don't click many things, they go in one and then they scroll through and eventually they see something they like, and so I have more chances they skip through the
Oh, I
things.
see.
But I don't know, it's just
Yeah.
what I
Yeah, it's
thought.
just the theory that you have currently with the way you're displaying your work. Cuz I mean,
But
this is
this is
almost like
going
blog format.
is getting worse if you go down.
Yeah.
So this was directly
Mm.
after the mentorship. So after that, I needed to process the material and apply it, and then it gets better, I think.
So wait, so what I need to do is start down here and then go up, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
I need to start at the bottom and then scroll upwards, because then
Yeah,
it gets
here I
newer as you go.
started a bit the Daniel Tiger tutorial. So it's
Yeah.
just following through. It
Man,
was
those
a lot of
tutorials are
work
really good.
clicking through this 1 hour tutorial.
Yeah.
I had to stop it all the time. I
Yeah, you're just
remember.
trying to process like what you're looking at and how it's being
Yeah.
used, and
But in the end, it's just clicking after him, right? I mean, I learned a lot, but if you don't apply it, I completely forgot a lot of things I did.
yeah. Are
And
these
and
scans?
these are 3D scans which I
Yeah.
stylized with some
Interesting.
filter things
Yeah.
and color clamping. And
Huh. That's really interesting. And then yeah, and then you've got your like making your own characters,
yeah,
sculpting some.
I
Man, I remember when I used to do this.
I try to dive into everything a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
I'm also
it's
interested in character, but I don't know about rigging, blend shapes,
mm,
and these kind of things. So this
I
is just
honestly
a
I think
ZBrush, and
oh yeah, and you're in some marmoset.
this is Aquis
Yeah.
things. Yeah,
Yeah, how did you scan a black plastic bag? It was a question in chat. Was
yeah, it was very shiny, but I think the results were also not that great. A lot of noise,
yeah.
but for the purpose of just a still image render in somewhere in my scene, it was good enough.
Mm.
It came out. I mean, it was noisy, and the 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 yellow handles have issues. I think there's, yeah, you can see in the middle picture there's, it's not connected, but it's supposed to be connected in
Yeah, you're
that.
talking about the
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, I always wonder
So
if like if it's worth having a type of aerosol like paint can that gives you a more like matted surface, like that
Yeah,
you
yeah,
can
yeah. You
spray on
can
it to
absolutely
try.
do that.
Would that give you? That would probably give you a better result, right? If you were to,
Absolutely, it wouldn't be that shiny, but
yeah,
it would be still black and quite featureless. Yeah.
yeah, because
The
I
more
think if,
wrinkles it has, the
mm,
better, I would say. So it
right, because then you
works.
start to get some shape differences, some
Yep,
vectors that it
yep.
can pull from. But yeah, I mean, I think it's cool that you are diving into a bunch of different stuff, just because it gives you a sense of like what you enjoy doing.
Yeah, these architecture things were freelance things and offers, so it's not so much my thing, but I posted it just in case
Yeah,
someone likes this too.
yeah. I think what I think it was Bray that was saying in chat here. Yeah, I think it's better to separate projects when they're large enough to stand on their own, and I mean in some cases they are. Holy cow, that is a white background. This is really bright. But it's pretty. It's interesting. It looks like your yeah modular sci-fi elements, and then
Yeah.
we start getting into these. So okay, so you want to go into pure scanning, scan cleanup, and
Yeah, basically I was also interested. I have not applied for environment positions, but I was considering that. But at the same time, my traditional portfolio isn't there
mm-hmm.
yet, I would say. So it would be a bit difficult, but I see chances if they see like my 3D scanning and then they eventually invent a complete new position and say, hey, this guy could do that and he knows the
Yeah.
basics. Yeah, but not so much chances, maybe.
What do you expect to do as a like a 3D scanning artist? Like if a studio were to hire you, like what is that in your mind?
Yeah, there's different positions. I was in processes where it's more about going out and capture the world and
Hmm.
but also in a studio process these scans, clean them up. But also there is positions that are just about processing and keeping an eye on the pipelines, more technical positions which require a multi-camera rig and
Right.
yeah.
Wipeout saying one thing I haven't seen is layer map breakdowns. Some companies like seeing those in my experience. So it's like you're talking about like seeing the separate maps. Like I guess when you look at the scans, you kind of get a little bit of that in here.
Yeah, but it's a little bit pseudo. They are not pure. You see it just looks cool, but it's not a normal map, right? It's
Yeah,
mixed with some.
it's like a normal map with AO on top of it.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
so.
yeah. I mean, this stuff's super intriguing to me. I think the industry is still expanding when it comes to photogrammetry.
Yeah, let's see.
But I want okay if you're going into that route, I'm trying to figure out what you because I assume you're looking for a job now. Like it's maybe not imperative, but like important to try and get something going
Yeah.
on.
Yeah, I just finished, and next year I need to start.
Yeah.
And I think I have found what I want, but we're still. I think there's still some things to
Mm.
negotiate.
I wonder how much of a it might be worth trying out a little bit of it, but like doing some scans, cleaning them up, and just getting them on ArtStation and like in a marketplace. It doesn't have to be ArtStation; it could be anywhere, and just seeing if there's like a market there for that for individuals. Because I know a lot of people just go to like Quixel, for example, right? But everything
Yeah,
else that you can do with it, like the if you were to go and get cliffs and rock formations from certain areas in the world, and then turn those into masks and sell those as kits for like
yeah,
ZBrush. Oh
absolutely.
man, I'd buy those in a freaking heartbeat.
But man, no, often I think I have feelings like everything's already there. Why doing it is for free with the mega scans? Sometimes I lack purpose, but I don't know. What's your opinion?
I mean, I think you're just like mega scans is there and free, right? And then
Yeah,
it's more about
and
like
it's cool, but it discouraged me sometimes.
you have well, it's the other thing too is like I try and teach people. I learn as well, right? And I post videos on YouTube. And sometimes I feel like, okay, well, why am I even posting this? There's so many videos out there. Um, but it's about variety, and like at least with my content, it's like it's my voice and the way I explain things is a different way of learning than how another video would explain the same thing, right? So
Yeah,
it's
sure.
expanding the opportunity for someone to learn this specific feature that we're talking about, that everyone's talking about or whatever. And with your scan stuff, you're scanning things that it's likely that someone else has not scanned. And or the way that you're processing your materials and the quality of the content could be really good by comparison of what they're also what you're quote unquote competing against. And I wouldn't even say it's competing. You learn from everyone around you and you just kind of create it. I'd say just enjoy it and have fun with like doing the scanning and just do what you want to do because it's fun to you and you are engaged with it. And that interest and engagement and the constant creation of content will get you where you want to go. I think like eventually you could be like Quixel building into that library anyways. And then now you're working on like some new show that's using Quixel assets, or you're working on a movie that's using Quixel assets. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. Absolutely. Sounds good. And actually, that's something I was considering building on the side. If it would take longer for me to find a suitable job, I would always
Mm.
build on my portfolio and eventually try to sell things. I started with the Sketchfab, but you need a specific amount of models to be a seller. And I have two so far, and I will add to it, and at some point I can apply for selling these shoes and rocks and things. And yeah, I think it can be a good thing for on the side
Yeah.
and to get more exposure and things. Absolutely.
Does it get locked down by that market when you post it there? Like, are you allowed to put it on ArtStation's marketplace at the same time? Because it's like
I'm
spreading
not
yourself.
sure. I'm
Yeah.
not sure, but I think it can be since it's all Epic now.
Yeah.
Or
True.
I
Very
don't
true.
know.
But yeah. Do you have any other questions that you want to ask before we jump out of here?
Not really.
This was
But
really interesting, man.
thank you so much. Really great opportunity.
Yeah, I honestly I look forward to don't hesitate to post your scans in the server. I mean, we're all environment artists, right? But like everyone's kind of specializing and like we're all environment artists, but then there's environment artists that are very technical in like Houdini or like how they're like for you, like scans. Like you're interested in environments, but you want to do like scanning and getting those assets like ready for environments. Being in an environment where you can talk to other artists and find out like what they're always looking for that they can't find. Oh man,
Sure.
there's so much to like talk about and look at and learn.
And what's a good channel? The critics channel, or I was
I mean,
mostly reading in the career advice. Honestly, I'm
yeah,
not so familiar with the other.
yeah. I mean, so for me, it's like Waywo or
Weibo.
WAYWO. That's for like just posting what you're working on. That's what it stands for, and there's no critiques there. It's just this is what I'm up to. This is what I'm working
Oh,
on.
cool. Yeah,
And then yeah, and
good
then
idea.
critiques is like if you want some feedback on something or like
Yeah,
yeah, or you want to
awesome.
give someone else feedback. But
Sure.
if you have
Cool.
questions about the server or like how things work or like yeah, just poke me. My DMs are literally always open.
Cool.
If I'm not responding, it's because I'm either at work or I'm sleeping or I'm trying to have a life a little bit.
I see. Yeah,
Yeah.
I wonder how you're doing that.
Oh
When I
man.
start, I'm have to see how life would be. I was a student for like 10 years now. I think a lot of things will change for my time management.
Yeah, dude, it's all about time management. Get a calendar and start block planning everything. Uh, but cool. I guess I'll see you in the server.
Sure. Yeah, thank you so much.
Yeah, that was awesome, man. Thank you for presenting your stuff to
Sure.
us.
Bye.
All right, I'll talk to you later. Bye.